Alright, hello camera, welcome back to the channel. This of course is another anime reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to Gintama episodes 9 and 10, I believe. Let me just go check to make sure I'm not insane. Alright, 9 and 10. So, it's been a little bit since I've actually watched an episode of Gintama, so I went back and refreshed myself. I didn't watch the full episodes, but I went back and refreshed myself on exactly what happened last time. I know these are sort of like self-contained comedic stories every time. I know that, but I don't know. I know I've been told that there will be some serious arcs later on, and so kind of having all these world building episodes, even if that is mostly just comedy, will be important to my emotional investment in the characters going down later in the series. Like it's kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, IMO. The first season is very comedy, like very kids show-esque, I guess you could say. But I feel like it was definitely like important for me to be really into stuff that happens later on. But that's getting off topic. We're gonna get started with the episode in a little bit, but I mentioned it in the description of the last Gintama reaction. But I'm gonna be using different subtitles from here on forward. It was recommended to me by one of you guys in the comments. I can't remember exactly what your name is, but you know who you are, because there was only like one of you that recommended Rumble subs, but I couldn't find them anywhere except for if I torrented. So, for the first time in my life, I've actually torrented something. So, I've got the entirety of the Gintama series. I don't have the first and second movie, but I have the entire series, all 5 seasons, I think it is. All 367 episodes. The first 165 are split between Shinsen subs and Rumble, which apparently will have a better, I guess, TL notes about certain jokes throughout the series, which would be good, because apparently Gintama relies on that heavily. And also, I just kind of enjoy learning more about Japanese culture through translation notes. Like, I get that's kind of like a joke, like, translator notes. This Japanese word we left untranslated means this, but I mean, it's like, why not learn more about it, about the culture the media is coming from? But that's just a mostly condensed version of why I don't use Crunchyroll or Funimation. But then 166 to 367 are all horrible subs. That's the name of the subgroup. They went down recently. You probably know who they are, but that's what I have for them, because as far as I know, Rumble does only stopped at like 165. The only downside to these subs is that they will hopefully be like better explained jokes, but the video quality is down. It's at 480p now, I'm pretty sure. So, and at least for some of these episodes, let me check. At least for like maybe the first 59-ish episodes, they're all .avi files, so the subtitles are like hard-coded into the video. I'm pretty sure with MKV files you can take the subs out. Like they're not like, they're like soft subbed, I guess. I don't know what the exact terminology is, but you can use the subs somewhere else. So I could potentially find the Blu-ray rips and then add the Rumble subs, but I'm new, so I wouldn't know how to do that. So for the time being, at the very least, it's going to be 480p instead of whatever quality it was for the last 8 episodes, or rather 6 episodes, because I haven't watched 1 to 2. Speaking of 1 to 2, I can see the thumbnails. Like, I'm looking at it in my folder. I should probably change it so I don't see those, because not really spoilers, so to speak, but it looks like there's some Bleach stuff, which is awesome. I love Bleach, but that is something. Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's just get into episode 9, which I believe. Oh, also, I'll bring it up when we get to. Never mind. Episode 9 is apparently called "Fighting Should Be Done with Fists." So I'm not sure what that title means exactly, but let's just jump right into it. All right. Well, in this episode, We got some really interesting, a really interesting look into the world, more of a look into the world and some of the backstory of it, especially at the end. We got some hints and more of like a relationship in the past between Toshi, or maybe he just recognized him, maybe because I don't remember exactly how old Toshi is, but maybe he doesn't recognize him specifically, like directly, like he saw Gintoki on the battlefield or anything, but he probably maybe knows about him. I don't remember if he actually mentioned it. I might have to go back and look through that. But then that was mostly this was mostly a comedy slash world building slash intrigue for backstory episode, which is really good because while it is still like a good self-contained story in this episode, it connects to the overarching like plot, so to speak, that we know about so far. Not really plot, but the overarching like information about certain characters and the world that we know about so far, which is really cool. Let me just go to the specific timestamps that I mentioned. Okay, I kind of didn't need to come back and look at this, but I figured I'd come back, I'd go back in the episode and actually read the whole letter. To the silver-haired samurai, what the fuck, asshole? Get your sorry ass over to Shinsengumi headquarters now and get your well-deserved thrashing, the Shinsengumi. Now, I don't know Japanese, so I don't know how accurate that is, but maybe they did really use a lot of expletives during this letter, but that's pretty funny either way. It's just, oh, I just noticed, it's in Comic Sans. Not really a huge mark against it, but I thought that was funny to mention. What else do we got? Right, that bit of, not really animation change up, but where they slowed down the animation, or they did a slow-mo shot. Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's enjoyable to look at like 18 minutes, 20 something seconds, maybe. Yeah, about 18:22. They had a bit where they slowed down the animation. They did slow-mo. Which, again, a simple trick, but it's a nice little thing. It's a nice little addition. I appreciate they did that. Alright, and then they have a philosophy about philosophy. They have philosophy about the fuck. What am I saying? The philosophy about why I can't speak. The philosophy of why a person fights, which the philosophy of fight is that you're always fighting to protect something, which it's like, yeah. So based on what I know from about Gintoki right now, is that he was he's probably one of those people who's really upset about the whole Amanto invasion and like subjugation, I guess you could say. I believe what they use is like purge or like the purge / expulsion was what the humans were using against the Amanto. So the Amanto, he was probably one of those people that was really upset about it. So he used his like anger and I wouldn't say bloodlust, but he's rage. He was fueled with rage, and he went to join like the expulsion or the purge with Zura, and he fought hard, long and hard, and then something about that whole thing like changed him. Like he felt that way for a long time, and he kept fighting, but then at some point, for whatever reason, maybe it might be a thing where he lost a loved one, and that's part of the reason why he joined, or while he was a part of the purge to get rid of the Amanto, someone important to him he lost someone important to him while he was fighting in it, which basically changed his whole mindset, where it's like a war is hell type thing. Who knows for sure? I'm thinking it's either one of them. It's either of those, because right now Gintoki doesn't really have any family, so to speak. Because I was gonna say it might be like a situation like in Vinland Saga, where Thor's left the battlefield because he suddenly realized that he wanted to be with his family instead in Iceland. But as of right now, Gintoki doesn't really have any active like relatives. I wouldn't say family, like he doesn't have blood relatives. It's like Kagura and Shinpachi are his makeshift family right now, which is fun, but it makes me think that he either lost someone and that's why he joined, or he joined and then he lost someone But either way, at some point, he decided that he didn't want to be a part of this anymore. So he's left that, and he's trying to put that behind him and trying to live his normal life now. But then you have people like Zura, who are still stuck in that and are still stuck on that sort of revenge path. I wonder if that's going to be a plot point later on, where Gintoki has to change his mind about this whole Amanto extermination plan or whatever. But with that all being said, let's get to the next episode. All right, so the next episode should be called "Eat Something Sour When You're Tired," or something along those lines. Well, we'll find out in a second. So, as I was saying in the reaction bit, it seems like we kind of go in cycles, and I can't really reference exactly what I was saying, or what episode it relates to, but I do remember in one set, we had the introduction to Katsuda, which gave us an insight into more of Gintoki's past and more world building about the sort of world that we live in right now with the Edoians, the humans, or whatever you want to call them, as well as the whatchamacallit. Fuck, I can't think straight. As well as some information on Gintoki's past. And then, like, directly after that, like, the beginning of the episode related to it for a little bit, but then it completely went off to its own separate, self-contained thing about the father and then the idol, which, as far as I know, again, we're not very far into the series, it won't really be brought up. She's in the idol Otsu, I think. I might be getting that wrong, but she's in the OP and ED, I believe, or at least the ED at the very least. So maybe she'll play a more important role later on, but it's the cycle type of thing that I'm talking about did happen in this episode as well, because we had an episode where we got a slightly better look into the world, the whole expulsion or purge, as well as the war with the Amanto. And we also got slight insight into Gintoki's past through Toshi mentioning things to him about, like, what is his game, working as a construction guy and stopping a bombing, basically. So then in this episode we got like a pure comedy episode, basically, and some heartwarming moments with Kagura and Sadaharu, which we officially know what the dog creature's name is. I spent so many episodes saying, all right, this time we're going to learn about it. No, this time we're going to learn about it. But we finally learned about it, so that's really cool. It's a really interesting addition to the cast. I mean, you usually have the animal sidekick in series. But unlike series like Bleach and what's the other one? Black Clover. Bleach and Black Clover, and I think those are the only ones I can think of at the moment, where the animal sidekick turns out to be a real person, just in a different form. But I do have one timestamp, so let me go check to see what exactly it was. Right, it was the translator's note for why she doesn't need any dog Flanders. No, Dog of Flanders is the eponymous dog. Dog of Flanders is the eponymous dog, large of head and limb, from the 1872 novel widely read in Japan. Okay. I had never heard of that. Dog of Flanders. Okay. For some reason I thought it said Dog Flanders. I thought it was some 1872 law that you can't sell dogs without a permit or something, but it's actually a dog. Okay, so that's an interesting reference and okay. So yeah. That's pretty much all I think I have to say about this episode. So, with that all being said, thank you all very much for watching this Gintama reaction. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to press the like button and subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you can be notified whenever I upload more Gintama or any other reactions in the future. With that all being said, I'll see you later, camera.